The forbidden bond, a mother's love that went too far. This is a haunting African story of love, obsession, and irreversible tragedy. When my sister called me crying that night, saying her son had locked her in a room and whispered, "You are my wife now," I laughed. I thought she was joking. But by morning, half the village had gathered outside her compound, and we could hear screaming from inside. Before you judge the mother, before you call the son a monster, listen to the whole story. Because what began as love turned into obsession. What was meant to protect, ended up destroying 2 lives. This isn't just a story. It's a warning. A truth too many families ignore until it's too late. Stay with me until the end. Then ask yourself, who do you blame? The mother? The son? Or something deeper in our culture that we never dare to speak about? Chinwe was the kind of woman who turned heads, by beauty, yes, but more by presence. Her glow, her confidence, the way she walked. She left people in silence. She had her only child, Amarachi, at 19. The man who got her pregnant vanished, denying responsibility. But Chinwe stood tall. She became a tailor, opened a small shop, and poured every ounce of love, time, and energy into raising her son. They were inseparable. She called him, my husband in a child's body. She kissed him on the lips. She bathed with him well into his teenage years. When he turned 13, she told him, "Don't let any girl touch your heart. I am the only woman who will never betray you." People warned her. Her sister. The priest. Even a school counselor. But Chinwe would just smile and say, "You people don't understand. Amarachi is my soul twin. My reason for breathing. My God-given second chance at love." And so the boy grew, not knowing where a mother's love ended and where a lover's love began. As Amarachi grew into manhood, tall, handsome, intelligent, people started to notice something was off. He refused to date girls. Said they were not clean enough. He grew angry when male neighbors spoke to his mother. Once, he broke a man's arm for joking that Chinwe was still marketable. He called her constantly. He insisted on sleeping in her bed during school breaks. At first, the family thought it was over-attachment. Then, they began to worry. One day, Amarachi's aunt, Ngozi, visited and overheard a chilling exchange. "Mama," he said, "when are you going to stop pretending? You know you love me too. You know I'm the only one who sees you." Chinwe laughed nervously. "Don't say such things. People won't understand." "I don't care," he replied. "If I can't have you, no one will." Ngozi stood frozen in place. She didn't know whether to cry or scream. She told the family. They staged an intervention. Pastors came. Therapists. Even traditional healers. But Amarachi refused. "I know what I feel. And nothing you say will change it. My mother created this bond. And she cannot run from it." Chinwe never meant to harm her son. She said that over and over. She just wanted someone who would never leave her. Someone to love her completely. She believed the cuddling, the kisses, the whispered words at night were just her way of pouring love into the only person who gave her life meaning. But the love had twisted. It had become something she could no longer control. She began locking her bedroom door at night. She stopped letting Amarachi hug her. She begged him to find a girlfriend. But it was too late. Amarachi changed. He grew quiet. Withdrawn. He stopped eating. To a friend, he said, "I would rather die than see her with someone else." And then, it happened. It was raining when Amarachi came home from university. He waited until the house was silent. Then, he broke the lock to his mother's door. He tied her to the bed, not violently, but carefully, almost like a ritual. "We are finally free," he whispered. "No more shame. No more secrets. You and I can finally be what we were meant to be." She screamed. She begged. By morning, neighbors had heard the cries. They rushed over. The door was barricaded. When the police broke in, they found Amarachi sitting calmly beside his mother. A kitchen knife in one hand, her wrist in the other. "She belongs to me," he said. "If I can't have her, no one will." Both were taken away. Amarachi was committed to a psychiatric facility. Chinwe was taken to a different kind of prison, a mental one. She stopped speaking. She stared at walls and murmured the same words over and over. "I only wanted to be loved. I didn't know it would end like this." The village buzzed. Some blamed her. Others blamed the system that failed to intervene. Therapists called it emotional enmeshment. The priest said it was a curse. The elders said, "Boundaries are spiritual. When broken, the land itself weeps." The story of Chinwe and Amarachi became a cautionary tale. Now, mothers are told, "Love your sons, but let them grow." And children are taught, not all affection is safe, even when it comes from home. Because sometimes, a mother's mistake doesn't just break a heart. It breaks a soul. And from that brokenness, monsters can grow. 6 years later, Amarachi escaped from the psychiatric hospital. The last person he was seen speaking to was Chinwe's new husband. That man vanished 2 days later. No one knows where Amarachi is today. But every night, Chinwe wakes up screaming. She says she hears a voice whispering, "You promised you'd never leave me, Mama. You lied. Thank you for staying with me through this difficult story." It wasn't easy to hear. But sometimes, the stories that hurt the most are the ones that leave us changed. If this touched you, please leave a comment. Share your thoughts, your feelings, or just one word that this story stirred in you. And if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support means more than you know. Until next time, stay kind, stay strong, and above all, stay aware.